When I was starting out, I thought that I could make things up. Big ideas, big lies, leave the old tricks in the bag, no thanks. I had all the right riddles, jokes, magic. I made things up. But everything I'd say, I'd hear in turn, that one reminds me of this one, I've heard 100 times before. And I'd realized that I'd heard it too. Some old joke that lodged itself inside my brain, swished around a dozen years until I fished it out and thought it was mine. It wasn't. So I stopped trying to make things up a while. Figured, if nothing left to make up new, do what's come before and do it perfect. Studied history of joking, jesting, memorized vaudeville shows, mime acts. If it's old, it's gold. And maybe 6 or 7 tickets sold. Who's that shit for? Historians. Worse, fetishists. People want what's new, but nothing's new, so what's to be done? And then I knew. I kept on telling the same old jokes, but this time I went around pretending they were mine, that I made them up. Because people say they want what's new, but when they say they want what's new, they mean they want what's old, and so I tell them what's old is new, and they like that, and they like me too. I make things up. But when I can't, I tell the same old story at a slant.
I thought you were live.
Oh, thank God you're back. I ran out of jokes like 10 minutes ago. We've been on commercial break since then. I think we're losing them.
So what were you doing just now?
Oh, just working on some new material. Not ready for the crowd yet.
So I'll do some more confessions for them, and you can go to the bride and calm her down.
You found her?
She was back in the graveyard, moaning and gibbering. Her dress is a total disaster. Muddy and rags. Such a waste. Where's the groom?
Presumably where I left him.
Have you checked on him?
No, I mean, it's not like he could get out if he tried.
Christ, Jester, I'm really starting to think you're not taking this seriously. There's a lot riding on this for me,
Yeah, you and everyone else's lives.
It's not just their lives. It's my livelihood. Look, local news is dying. Everything's getting outsourced to hell. Everyone's always between addresses. Nobody even knows what's going on in their own backyards.
Oh, the lament of a local morning show host.
No involvement in local politics. And all politics are local, So yes, I am concerned about my ratings. And you should be too, my friend, because when you come to terms with the fact that you can't make it in the big leagues, you're still going to need a place to stand and spit, aren't you?
Oh, I won't be on this shabby sound stage for much longer.
Stick with me, and this sound stage won't stay shabby. We're going to do the unthinkable. We save the city. I get nationally recognized as the leading talk show host in America. I patent the whole affair. Municipalities across the country follow our lead. We cleanse the land of pestilence. We put Western Mass on the map. And after today's tithings, I offer you a healthy 8% if you
8%?
And then I buy my way out of this town. National syndication.
I thought you were concerned about local news.
Jeez, Jester, think bigger. Everything national starts local. Go on now, I've got some more confessions to take. And go check on the groom on your way to the bride. I locked her in the green room. Look at you, waiting around in the dark. Lights. Cameras. Action. And we're back. My apologies for the interruption. I am pleased to report that we found our runaway bride and brought her back in one piece. When it rains, it pours, am I right? Well, we are still right on schedule and about 10 minutes away from the big event. If you're just tuning in, tonight is the long-awaited Upper Valley Plague Wedding. I'm your host this evening, Cal Harrison, from Cal's Corner on the Channel 5 Morning Show. I will also be officiating this evening. And once again, we would like to thank the mayor of Northampton for prudently using his recently acquired emergency powers to ordain me in record time. Joining me this evening is Joe in the role of the wedding jester, who will be back any moment now with the bride and groom. Folks, you voted and we listened. Tonight's plague bride and groom were runaway winners, with 75% and 66% of the vote, respectively. We received a total of 11,826 votes. Folks, give yourselves a round of applause. And we will be going in just a moment now. The bride is getting ready. But first, let's do some confessions. Let's go to Jess McKay in a bunker at an undisclosed location near Leeds. Jess, you're on the air.
Hello? Can you hear me?
There's 8,000 people watching, Jess.
Hi.
So what do you do at an undisclosed location near Leeds, Jess?
I have a homesteading mommy blog. My husband works for L3 Harris. As you can see, we're pretty holed up in here.
I do indeed see. And do you have any contact with the outside world?
No, not really. I mean, we would love to help our neighbors, but we have to help ourselves first, you know? The kids are big eaters, so.
Great. So whose sins are you confessing?
I am confessing the sins of BB Tenderfoot and Justin Mustard.
And what nasty things have they been up to, Jess?
Okay, so they are actually adulterers, and they have been doing the sin of adultery for a while now. So, yeah.
And how did you come to know this?
Oh, BB and I used to do a charity canathon together. She confided in me at first, but it's basically an open secret now. They were last seen fraternizing at Deanna Harris's birthday party.
And are they shacked up together, possibly even being adulterous right now as we speak?
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, BB's definitely married, so she might be at home with her husband and kids.
Well, BB, if you're watching this, I hope your husband isn't home. Thank you so much, Jess. We'll send 18 prominent men and an oracle to Leeds to investigate the charge. Thank you again. Have a great evening.
Oh, thanks, Cal.
Fantastic. And next up, we have Eric Aqueduct of Northampton. Eric, you're on the air. Take it away.
I have become aware that Sally Killdevil, who is already known as a scoundrel and troublemaker to the Department of Public Works, is engaged in communities which promote communism, anti-police sentiment.
Cal, turn this idiot down. We need to talk.
What the hell is going on?
What do you think, man? She has cold feet.
Have you tried explaining to her that this is for the common good?
Obviously, she's not going to listen to reason. She's freaking insane, remember?
She hit you?
She gave me a face full of elbow when I was trying to rearrange her veil. Do you think my nose is broken?
Christ, Jester, there's 8,000 people watching. We have to deliver. Okay, new plan. You go get the groom. I'll wrestle the bride. We'll get this over with. Okay?
Okay. Jesus.
Which is how I found out that my empty storefronts, which are vacant for nebulous yet somehow profitable reasons, were raided by the lesbian communists who live in the abandoned church on the corner of Hawley Street. And it's this disrespect, understand me, this disrespect which is spreading the plague.
Great. Eric, thank you so much. We'll send a council of 18 to investigate. Have a great evening. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the plague groom. Come on up, don't be shy. Jester, why don't you interview him for the audience? I'm going to go,
So, what's your name?
Silas, what's yours?
I think I'm the one asking the questions here, buddy.
Well, you don't have to tell me. I was just wondering.
So, how old are you?
46.
Silas, what do you do?
I don't have a job right now. How about you? How long have you been a wedding jester?
Oh, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, really. A lot of stand-up, some vaudeville, cue card holding. I go where I'm needed. Gig economy.
So you've done this before?
Do you mean to suggest my jesting is amateur?
No, not at all. It's just the joke book in your bag. Most jesters have their jokes memorized.
Actually, lots of jesters use joke books. Late night show hosts, too. They just edit it out on TV. Who died and made you wedding jester decider?
Well, it's just I haven't heard you make a joke yet.
Let's continue with the interview. So, Silas, where do you live?
I have a spot by the bike path.
And how does it feel to be here?
Well, it doesn't feel great knowing I'm considered to be the most disgusting and pitiful person in this geographic region. Given my life experiences, it's really hard for me to feel worthy of love, but I am an optimist at heart, and I never thought I would get married, so even though this is against my will, and even though I will probably find the bride repulsive, and she will probably find me repulsive, I'm trying to keep an open mind about the whole experience.
That's great, Silas. So, do you think this plague wedding will be pleasing to God and stop the spread of plague in our region?
I don't know. Seems as good a chance as any. In a way, I guess I feel honored. I hear in D.C. they're doing live sacrifices. At least we haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, totally. So, are you ready to meet your wife-to-be?
I'm pretty nervous. Will we at least get a honeymoon?
No, we will probably throw you both right back out on the street in an hour to die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what will become of you?
Here comes the bride.
Oh, Jesus, she's crazy.
Yeah, that's the point.
So, honey, what's your name? Folks, our bride's name is Hannah. She was on the ballot under the category of neurotic and has been chosen for the very important job of saving all of our skins by sucking it up and marrying that bum.
I don't think I'm neurotic. I think I'm pragmatic.
Oh, are you ready to talk now? What is your name, age, and hometown for our viewers?
It's okay, they want to know you.
Hannah, 20, Florence.
Anybody tuning in from Florence tonight? Great. So, Hannah, what do you do?
I press flowers that I find in the graveyard and make them into amulets. I need to be protected. I'm afraid of death, and I'm afraid of life, and sometimes I feel too big for my body, like my bones are expanding, swelling outside my skin, and sometimes I feel too small, like my skull is a big white room, and every move I make echoes because I'm in the center of it. That's how I feel right now.
And what do you think of your groom, Silas?
He's repulsive.
Oh, well, put on a brave face, Hannah. The fate of the Tri-County area rests on your shoulders. Jester, your turn.
Musicians! To receive all of the blessings on the day of your wedding, my dear holy bride, I, the wedding jester, have been tasked with the ancient and very important obligation of making you cry. Because if the bride does not cry on her wedding day, there will be no communal emotional catharsis, and without that, the ritual will be incomplete. Plague bride, oh, you beautiful plague bride. Nobody will ever see the woman you are inside. A woman is never so alone as she is on her wedding day, and you without even a father to give you away. Alone with a husband you barely know. Where will you go? Where will you go? Thinking of the uncertain days ahead, your eyes fill already with tears that you'll shed. Your lips tremble.
No, they're not.
Pardon?
My lips are not trembling. My eyes are not filled with tears.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Your lips will tremble and your soul will contort. In earth and in heaven, there's blood in the court. Already awaiting the headstone and spade, before you were born, all your choices were made. Your life to struggle, your fate is to fail. Put on your ring and lower your veil. The world you were born into no longer exists. What truth can be found is thinner than mist. Each disaster rehearses the last, and angels of mercy are all in the past. How bitter the honey that sweetens the sting. Lower your veil and put on your ring.
You've strayed a little from the theme.
A jester has his own grand scheme. Hannah, if there is a chance to forestall all of the sorrow that gathers withal, if judgment and verdict and death can be stayed, that now is the time and today is the day. A bride has to cry on her wedding day, must, to settle with God should she crumble to dust. Put on your ring and lower your veil, because birth is a trial and death is a jail. Lower your veil and put on your ring, because you are a princess and God is the king, and God loves a wedding, and God hates a lie, and God loves watching a pretty girl cry.
No, I have cried enough.
You'll cry, all right.
He appealed to logos, ethos, and pathos. I'm not sure what more can be done.
Tough crowd.
Oh, she'll cry, all right, because you folks have never seen a jester like Joe. Absolutely unmatched. It's unbelievable. Everybody, give it up for Joe.
Bride of man, you shall find that old age shall not be kind. As your beauty melts away, so does mind and eye decay. And hell, it's just she won't even blink. It freaks me out.
Come on, then. Try something else.
I don't have anything left to mimic, just that one postmodern gimmick.
Idiot. Simulacrum. Badham of banality.
Well, that's something at least. Do it again.
What?
Something funny.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have something on your... Now, pull my finger.
What are you playing at?
Was that your angle all this time?
A jester has his own designs. Thank you all. My Venmo is in the chat.
All right. Let's get it over with. The rings, please.
Seriously? Is this elementary school?
Our jewelers are out of business.
Cough, cough.
Do you, Silas, the plague groom, take Hannah, the plague bride, in the eyes of God, to be your lawfully wedded plague wife?
I do.
And do you, Hannah, the plague bride, take Silas, the plague groom, in the eyes of God, to be your lawfully wedded plague husband?
No! Obviously not! Since when did I give anyone the impression I was going through with this? A gun to my head if you have to!
I'll tell you why you're going through with it. Because if you walk out of here, the next person to drop dead, that's on you. And everyone's gonna know it.
Seems like you bit off more than you could chew, Cal.
Help me out here.
Listen. Hey, stop trying to bite and listen. You get to be a real hero here, okay? You have a chance to make something of yourself. Bet you never thought that would happen, right? Look, you get to tell whatever grandkids you two end up having that you two were the special people who saved many, many lives. You're the one who has to make a difference here. So what do you say? What was that?
Let me out! I don't want to go through with this! I'm so tired of being trapped! Let me out!
Let's see what the crowd has to say about that. Who wants to weigh in?
Hannah, I voted for you. I've been really rooting for you this whole time, and I really love your energy, and I know you can do this, babe. We all believe in you.
No!
Hannah, I think you're being really selfish right now. You're being contrarian for no reason. I mean, it's not like you have anything else to do.
I don't want to die. Please, just do it. Please, God, I don't want to die.
Shut up!
So much for that.
Jester, let's get out of town.
But we're not supposed to cross county lines.
Look, either we get out of here and go try this grift somewhere else, or we wait around and find out what happens when it doesn't work. Look, this isn't over for you and me, bud. We can still do this. Tonight was just a trial run, a pretty little dress rehearsal. We just have to use plants and rig the election, huh? Oh, come on, Joe. Where do you want to go? My assets are as liquid as my insides. Poughkeepsie, Unity, Hopkinton. Fine. Chin up. Why don't you try looking out for number one every once in a while? Number one is me, FYI.
The ritual is incomplete. I hope we made enough to eat. Although we tried and though we failed, 'twas not the bride alone unveiled, but something truer, something real. Not diminished, just concealed. And I can say that in that room, I did see a teardrop bloom, shine like a diamond in the rough. I hope to God it was enough. No, this was done on your behalf. I hope to God God likes a laugh.
What are you still doing here?
I could ask you the same. You want to run? Run.
Here's your ring pop back.
Thanks. I like the green flavor.
Why are you being so calm?
What other way is there for me to be now? This place seems interesting. It looks abandoned. Maybe I'll move in.
Really? Into a TV studio? Don't you find the vibes pernicious?
You live in a graveyard.
Graveyards are a place of profound love. I think I'd be lonely here.
I'm not asking you to stay with me.
Did we just doom all our neighbors to die?
Maybe you did. I had nothing to do with the decision.
Oh my God!
Do you really think it would have mattered?
No, I don't know. Isn't that why they did this? They picked the two most disposable charity cases around. Low risk, high reward. They didn't deserve to die, did they?
May I ask you for a wedding dance?
What?
Well, you may have blown the ritual, but we could still have a wedding dance.
I still don't want to get married.
I'm not asking you to marry me.
Does it work if they aren't watching?
Like you said, who knows? We could dance to save them, or we could dance because we're on an empty stage wearing fancy clothes. Look, you don't even have to touch me, see?
Right.
There we go.
Ooh.
Okay, do we need to unwind you there? Yeah, there we go. Do you think the jester was right?
On what?
On your tear mattering.
It's opposite of anything I'd ever heard. Tears mattering.
I wonder if he'll be on the road a while, maybe forever.
There's justice in that.
Do you believe in divine justice?
Yes.
So is that what's happening right now? Everyone in the world had it coming, including the people you're trying to save now by dancing with me?
Does it matter what I'd say?
No, whatever moral standard you hold the world to, no one's listening, only matters to you.
I wasn't going to say this is divine justice. It doesn't work like that. It's more like birth pangs.
Why did you scratch the skin off your face?
I didn't like how it was keeping me from the world.
What do you mean?
When Adam and Eve lived in the Garden of Eden, before they ate from the tree of life, they didn't have any skin. They were clear. The keratin in our fingernails. That's what it meant when it said they were naked. After they ate from the tree of life, they realized the world is a frightening place. So they covered their nakedness. The covering was complete, but all for their fingernails and their toenails. It's the only place on our body that reflects light. It's a weak spot, a crack in the armor. When a demon leaves the body, it exits from beneath the nail. I have to get back to that garden, become clear again.
And what happens then?
And then we won't be able to hide from each other anymore. Here, give me your hand.